Hey guys, so I thought today I would talk about, just like do a mama chat, talking about potty training because that's such like a stressful thing, and it's just such a topic that everyone has different opinions on and different ideas on. So I thought I'd just kind of take you through our story and just let you know kind of what we did and what kind of helped a little bit. So let's jump into that. First of all, I went fishing the other day. Let me just share this with you real quick. Look at what I did. We were like going through rocks and stuff, and I fell on a cactus, and there was like 100 of them, just like boop, 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 like little things I had to pick out of my arm, but gave me like an awful rash. So, and I got like a whole bunch of like scabs and stuff on my legs. It was a really sad day. Anyway, let's jump into potty training. So I am going to just kind of share with you a few things that worked and a few things that didn't. So our potty training journey is probably a little bit different than other people's. I mean, it drives me crazy when people tell you an age that you have to potty train your kids. Like 2 is like the age, you know, and my kids were not ready at 2. They weren't even ready at like 3. They were potty trained around 3.5, both of them. They just weren't ready before that, and they weren't even really interested. And you can't force your kid to pee or poop in the potty. Like, it's a scary thing for them. And so I think the first thing I would say is just take a step back and just kind of look at your child. And I mean, you know if your child's ready. You just do. I mean, there's signs. If they're not even like really interested in the bathroom or anything like that, or when you pull their pants down and kind of sit them on the potty, if they're not even interested in doing anything, and if they're just kind of scared and like not even want to be there, they're probably not ready yet. And that's okay. Like, I don't think that there has to be an age that you potty train. That is just so silly. Every child is different. Some kids are potty trained at 1.5 years. Some kids are potty trained at 3.5. Some kids are potty trained at 4. I mean, really, it just doesn't matter. And so that would be like my piece of advice, because with Connor being my first, I started potty training him way too early. I started him at like 2.5. He wasn't potty trained until he was like close to 3.5. It took me like over a year to potty train him, like off and on. And it was so frustrating, and I didn't understand, you know, what was going on. And then I just realized, you know, he's not ready, and that's okay. And then I just kind of backed off. And then when I went back at it again when he was ready, it was so much more enjoyable. Potty training is hard. Potty training is not easy, no matter what anyone says. Maybe you have like an easy child that's like super easy, but for me it was not easy. It was very stressful, and it was probably the hardest thing I've ever done. So, but you know what? You just need to kind of like not worry about it, and your kid will get there. Like, I remember just thinking, I'm never gonna be out of diapers, because both of my kids were in diapers for a really, really long time. I mean, Connor was only a year, let's see, they're 16 months apart. So Connor was only like 1 year and 4 months when she was born, and he wasn't potty trained until he was like 3.5. So they were both in diapers for like 2 years. So it was just kind of one of those things where I was like, I'm never going to be out of the diaper phase, and this is never going to happen. And then one day it just kind of happened, and I was like, oh, you just kind of have to step back, and you kind of just have to listen to your child, and you kind of just have to look at your child and the cues and stuff like that. And I think it will be a lot less stressful. So with Aubrey, it was still hard. It took me several months, but she was a little bit easier than Connor because I didn't start her so early. I waited until she was about 3 to kind of like start introducing sitting on the potty and looking at like books and stuff like that on the potty. And I just very, very slowly introduced it, and she was potty trained close to 3.5. So it took me probably about 6 months with her, but it was like very gradual. It wasn't anything that was like super strict or anything like that. It was just a lot more laid back. So it was a lot less stressful. So I think if you just don't listen to people, don't listen to when people potty train their kids, don't listen to like the age that you're supposed to potty train, because there isn't one. Every child is different. Every child moves at a different pace. My kids are generally late on doing certain things. They were late walkers. They didn't walk until they were, let's see, Connor was 1 year and 4 months when I had Aubrey, and he didn't walk until 2 weeks before I had her. So he was like 1 year and like 3 months old. He was like 15.5 months before he walked, and so was Aubrey. And so my kids are a little bit late on certain things, and that's okay. Like, don't worry about stuff like that, you know? Every child is different. Every child moves at a different pace, and that's okay. And I think that if you make potty training less stressful, it will be so much more enjoyable on the child, because that's such a hard thing to do, and that's so scary for them to sit on the potty and pee. Poop is like so scary for them on the potty. That's like a terrifying. And so it's just, you know, it's really easy for us, you know, because we know how to go to the bathroom, we know how to sit on the toilet, it's second nature. But for them, like thinking about teaching them how to do that when they're not even used to that, that's a really, really scary thing for them, and it gives them a lot of anxiety. So I think just kind of being calm and just not being frustrated and not getting mad is just the key to potty training. I mean, when you start getting really upset at your child for like not going to the bathroom in the potty, you're just gonna make them scared in general just to even go. So I think those are the things to remember, is just keep calm, it will be okay. And it is frustrating and it is hard, it's not easy at all, but you'll get through it and it will be good, you know, it will be good. So some of the things we did with our kids is, you know, we got a whole bunch of toys at the dollar store. We filled up this bucket of like a whole bunch of toys, and every time they would go pee in the potty, they got to pick one. Every time they went poop on the potty, they got to pick two. If they peed their pants, they had to put one back, and if they pooped their pants, they had to put two back. That didn't really work. I mean, it did a little bit, but it was just kind of, it didn't really work that great. I mean, Connor has so many other toys that he likes better that it really was just like whatever. And I didn't have the money to like go to Walmart and pick out a whole bunch of nice toys, you know what I mean? And so I was just like, it just didn't like work. What did work, and that was like so funny, is a sticker chart. So I saved one because I wanted to talk about this eventually. This was from Walmart, and this is what it looks like. It just says My Potty Chart. There's a whole bunch of little toilets in there. And it's just like a little sticker chart, and at the bottom you can put the child's name, and then you can put the reward, like if they do them all or whatever. So I just got, like, these are some examples of like stickers I used. I mean, I love stickers, so I got like these little alien stickers and these little smiley face stickers. Just like, I just let them pick out some stickers that they liked that were really like fun for them. We got some Minion stickers one time, we got some princess stickers one time, just different things that were fun. And every time they went pee in the potty, they got to put one sticker on, and every time they went poop, they got to put two stickers on. And I didn't like take any away if they made an accident in their pants, because that gave them a lot of anxiety. So I just let them fill this out. And when they filled 2 full rows out, then we went to McDonald's and they got to get a Happy Meal and a toy there, which they really liked. So every 2 rows that they filled out, they got to do that. And then when they filled the whole entire thing out, I took them to Walmart and let them pick a $10 toy that they wanted. And that was so much better than anything else. That worked the best for us. And they loved putting the stickers on, and they were really excited when they filled out 2 full rows to be able to go to McDonald's and have a Happy Meal and play and get a toy, you know. And then when they filled the whole thing out, they got to pick out a bigger toy that they really wanted. And that was just a really fun way to potty train. I only went through like 2 or 3 of these before they were like pretty good potty trained. Like, they did very well. I started this near the end with Connor. And so it didn't take me as long, but with Aubrey I started it near the beginning, and it was just such a helpful tool, and I really liked it. And I got mine at Walmart. They were in like the area with all the diapers and wipes and like pull-ups and like stuff like that, like the baby section. They were like kind of in that area, just like on the side, kind of hanging, and it came with like a pack of 3 or 4. And they were so, like, it's just so easy and cheap and like a really, really nice kind of thing. And you can do any rewards that you want. That's just what we did. And it worked out really well. So that was just something that I really loved. Also, you know, we started out potty training with like the little toilet seats that you put onto the actual big toilet and put them on there, just because they're a little bit easier to like store. But we just found that with those, our kids were kind of scared. They were kind of scared of sitting on a big potty. It was kind of intimidating for them. And so we actually just went out to the store and we bought them their own little tiny potty. I don't have it to show you because we don't have it anymore. They're both potty trained, but just like a little, you know, toy potty. They have girl ones and boy ones. We just got like a gender neutral one so we could use it with both of them, like, because we knew after Connor was potty trained it wouldn't be too long before we potty trained Aubrey. So It was just like a really fun little tiny potty, and they could just go in there whenever they wanted and pull down their pants and sit on it, and they could reach it, and it was like their size, and that really helped. And I didn't think that that would. I thought that would be kind of silly. I was like, oh, we could just get a thing and they could just sit on the regular potty, but that ended up scaring them, and so they liked to have their own little potty. That was really helpful. Yeah, basically that's all we did. The sticker chart worked the best, and the only thing I can really tell you is just to stay calm and just to realize that you will get through it. Your kid is not going to be in diapers forever, and although it seems very long and very daunting, which it is, and very frustrating, which it is, we went through multiple underwear. We went through like 15 underwear a day sometimes. Everywhere I went, I always had to bring tons and tons of extra clothes and underwear. I had to bring like 5 extra outfits and like a couple extra underwear just in case. And it is very exhausting, but it does work. And one day it will be okay. So I also wanted to quickly mention nighttime training. So my kids weren't nighttime trained for a while after they were potty trained. So they were potty trained just fine, and I still put them in like a pull-up or a diaper or something at night because they weren't, you know, quite there yet. I waited until they were consistently dry at night for like 2 or 3 weeks straight, and then I like just put them in underwear, and they were just like, they did great after that. So yeah, so don't worry about if your kid's not like nighttime potty trained right away, because usually that takes a little bit longer. But I just kind of put them, after they were fully potty trained, I put them in a pull-up at night for probably like 3 weeks or so. And then after they were consistently dry for that long, we switched over to underwear, and it was a really easy transition. So anyway, I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I hope that if you're potty training right now, first of all, I'm really sorry because it's such a process, and I feel for you, but it will get better, it will get easier, and one day your kids will be in underwear and it will be fantastic. So anyway, I am so glad that you guys watched, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!